Pisces, welcome in. I hope you're doing well. For starters, I don't know who this will resonate with. It's just a message I need to kind of get out. So I had a hit that I needed to change my furnace filter. Some of you need to change a filter. I don't know if it's a furnace filter, a water filter, air filter of some sort. I don't know. Just a reminder for somebody to change a filter, something that is of cleansing, okay? So, hope you guys are feeling well. We are getting into the energy of your full moon with partial lunar eclipse. You are probably in your feels. This one is a big deal for you personally. Yeah, this hits you directly with your identity. All right, some of you might be realizing your purpose. You might be switching careers. You might be switching something up, right? Where you're just like, yeah, no, this old me, what I used to do, what I thought I wanted to do, no, that's not it. I'm going that way. So that'll mean something different for each of you. Now that is primarily for Pisces rising. Can be Pisces moon and Pisces sun. But keep in mind, this particular reading, depending on what comes out, can be for any Pisces energy. Please don't forget that we embody all 12 signs of the zodiac. We can be in Pisces energy at any given time. Prime example, we have the full moon in Pisces. So we're all going to be in our feels, in our emotions, in our dreams during this week into this weekend. All right? Just a reminder. And again, thank you for the new subscribers, and thank you to the ones who have been around the channel. I appreciate your support. All right, what's going on for Pisces? This is their moon. What is going on? Oh, God, really? First card out, you, currently the moon. Of course. Of course, Pisces. You and Cancer are the moon, but this is you. Okay, challenging. We have the Strength in reverse, Leo energy. Okay, Root. Seven of Wands. Past. Six of Pentacles. Higher Self. Queen of Swords. Near Future. Seven of Swords in reverse. Okay, you currently Three of Cups. All right. Outside of you, Nine of Swords. Not so good. The others around you, somebody around you, people around you. Okay, hopes and fears. We have the Hierophant. Outcome. Two of Swords. All right. So, all right, Pisces. Well, currently, during this full moon, it feels like you're mentally getting clear on something. There's, coming through a dream, coming through an intuitive hit, some sort of synchronicity. That is part of this lunar eclipse, right? We could be getting that aha moment about something at 2 a.m., could be at any time, but 2 a.m. you could be waking up and saying, oh, okay, yeah, that's it, I get it. But your challenge with the strength in reverse, it gives me a feeling that you might be struggling with, like, we all have strengths and weaknesses, right? Some can play sports better than others. You get where I'm going. Some are more creative in one way than others are in their way, right? So we all have things that we're good at and we're not so good at. I think you're struggling with coming to the realization of maybe something that you might not be as, you might not have a lot of strength in, okay? And the whole root is, you, in some sense, that's Leo energy again. Maybe some of you don't want to be taken an advantage of for something you have a weakness in, okay? And you might feel like you're constantly in a state of trying to protect yourself from anybody, maybe pointing out your weaknesses or trying to play off your weaknesses, kind of thing. Pisces does have issues. One of your weaknesses is boundaries, right? You're the sign, the energy of dissolving the boundaries. But that can also work against you because Pisces energy can be a sponge. So you can soak up other people's energies. You can soak up their habits, their moods, behaviors, things like that. And so maybe that's part of it, is you struggling with putting up boundaries so people do not overstep and use you, because in the past you have the Six of Pentacles, and that's generosity. It's give and take, kindness. And so in the past you may not, somebody may have, used your generosity, your kindness, right? Mistaken it for your weakness. And so that could be part of this, is you holding firm and holding your boundaries up so people are not necessarily poking at your weaknesses. And you're seeing this. You're seeing that you're this kind person that's very generous. You are a caring, compassionate person, which is a beautiful thing, but can be negative if people take an advantage of it. Your higher self, well, you've got the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords is the one that knows what's going on in a situation, right? It's thoughts and communication. It's a lot about discernment too. So your higher self is starting to become more clear about using your discernment when it comes to others in your life. All right. In the near future, Seven of Swords in reverse. This is you in the near future realizing who's been lying to you. There may be somebody even coming forward with a confession about maybe something they did in the past, right? That where maybe they took an advantage of you. You currently, you're mingling with friends. You're probably, having your last vacation before kids are back in school, before you're back in school, before the summer starts, moving into fall, that last final. So you're probably out, you're meeting new people, you're celebrating, you're just gathering and having a good time. You're living your life right now. The ones around you, well, they are in the Nine of Swords. So they're having nightmares. Okay. Again, there's something that's bothering them. And I feel it could be they're afraid of you discovering or finding out that maybe they took an advantage of you in some shape or form. Now, your higher self is the hopes and fears. Your hopes and fears is the Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant can be a higher self as well. So I said that for a reason. The Hierophant is your spirituality, right? It's the morals. It can be learning beliefs, learning spirituality, seeking some sort of counsel, things like that. So I think because Pisces is such a spiritual sign, I think you're hopeful that you're tapping more in to your spirituality through this. It's like we all go through lessons, and you keeping the boundaries up and having discernment against people who are deceiving you and lying you and using you, preying on your weakness. Maybe your weakness is kindness, right? Generosity, sharing, caring, and compassion. And maybe somebody's just kind of using that a little too much. And this could be a lesson for you to know, like, who an energy vampire is. So you're not easily taken advantage of. And I think you're very much hopeful you are tapping more into your spirituality and learning to seek counsel from your higher self more than others around you, right? Because maybe somebody gave you some bad counsel about something, right? Where you thought they were being fair with you, maybe being open and honest, but they weren't. And that's why they're up at night. Remember, karma works both ways. So if someone's lied to you, deceived you, or used you, then that's the karma that they've asked for. if you were using good intent through compassion and generosity and doing something out of the kindness of your heart, that should be coming back to you. Now, the outcome with the Two of Swords, I feel like you come to a stalemate with this particular person or persons. You take that as it resonates. Could be more than one person. But I think you come to a stalemate on the outcome of, you know, maybe you and this person agree to disagree, you know, where it is kind of a stalemate, right? It's not like you're agreeing with them or they're agreeing with you. You just kind of go your separate ways, right? They take their path and you take your path, right? It's the karmic path. And so you just don't continue on in the future with this person or persons. So what is the... I'm going to go to situations. So what is the situation currently with the moon for Pisces? Let's get more. The moon. Gamble, risk. You know, it says nightlife on here. The moon comes out at night. More, please. Yeah. Something's done. Irreconcilable differences. Remember I said agree to disagree. So in a sense, that is a stalemate in itself. It's irreconcilable differences. You can't come to an agreement. I feel this comes to you in a dream, or you wake up early in the morning and you see everything, right? Everything comes to you, the whole story, the whole situation, all the answers. What has happened? What was the lie? You know, everything starts to come to you. And then it hits you. This has to be over. Yeah. You know why? Because they're going to threaten your happiness. They're a threat to your happiness. They're a threat to your joy. They're a threat to feeling whole. Yeah. That's it. Tell me more about the strength in reverse. Pop up. More, please. Insatiable. One more. Two more. I'll take it. Yeah, lockdown and journal. You're going to find, so your struggle is whoever this person is to you, they constantly are popping up, text message, document, email, phone call, and they're constantly wanting to, with the water here, it's like drink from your cup, right? So it's like taking advantage of your kindness, your compassion. And so it really messes with you that they're constantly popping up on your radar in some shape or form. So it is very tough for you, being such a compassionate creature, to have the boundaries up and the strength to push this person away, even though you know it and you're going to see it. It is still very much a struggle. All right. That's where the boundaries come in, Pisces is probably one of the energies that has the most struggle with boundaries. And so this is going to be a tough one. But you're going to see everything you need to see. It's going to come to you. So tell me about the Seven of Wands for the root. Drastic cutoff. The obsession. You have to protect yourself and hold your own, hold your boundaries up against and cut off people who are constantly needing something from you, right? Let's just go to Pisces. Ask Pisces. Pisces will do it. Pisces will help. Pisces will give me a shoulder to cry on. Pisces will give me $10. Whatever that is. It's somebody in constant need of something you can provide or something that you've been kind with. And you have to stop that. Okay? This is putting a boulder up, It's not just putting up that little shower curtain. It's putting a boulder up. You're going to have to be very strong. So while right now you're struggling with your strength, you're going to have to learn to push people away. Tell me about the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. The Wheel of Fortune. There's money on here. Pentacles is tangible. So there's something tangible you were sharing. It looks like helping others, survive, giving them everything they need, whether it was, could have been family, inner circle, friends. These are people that are close to you. That's why it's the hardest to cut them off. Yeah. These are people you deal with on a daily, you see on a daily. You're in constant connection. They're within your vicinity. Okay, these aren't people that are, living a few states away. This is your circle. And they come to you for a reason. Tell us about the future here. I'm skipping over your higher self because, I think it's clear that you're going to see this, right? You're going to have to remain independent, right? And hold your own and get clear in your mind rather than being caught up in your mind, right? Because if they're constantly pulling on you, it's going to wear you down, right? And right now they're 9 of swords. So they're having some guilt about constantly using something here. So what's this 7 of swords in reverse? Future. There's the emotions. Escapade. Ascension. Yeah, you're on your spiritual path, right? You're awakening, right? And part of the spiritual path, which I don't think people understand, is think, oh, woo-woo, spiritual path. It's, look, more waking up and going on the spiritual path is basically waking up to people using you, people knocking you down, waking up to you self-sabotaging yourself, right? Not just others around you, you waking up to your own shadows, right? It's a two-way street. As I mentioned, the Pisces moon is very emotional. It will be for all of us. You as well. But, Pisces, you're in the water 24/7. So I don't think it's going to be as bad for you as it will be others, which is why the other ones around you, which I haven't clarified, are having anxiety, right? Because they're being forced to feel what they've done to you. And they're going to need to either come clean or you will come clean with yourself, right? It can be a two-way street that these people around you are putting on a show, right? They are hiding them true selves, right? Hiding things that they've done to you, siphoned from you. And they're being forced to feel guilt, resentment for what they've done. They haven't been forced to feel it. And you're ascending because you're learning from this, you're seeing it, right? They're going to feel it, but you're going to learn from it. You've already felt something wasn't right, right? Which is why your emotions were in and out with the, like I said, with the insatiable, the fact that they're always emotionally pulling on you. You can see behind the curtain. You can see behind the veil now. You can see that they're using you for something and not necessarily giving back. But I like right now, you're enjoying yourself. You're meeting new people, right? New friendships. You're having shared experiences with new people. Maybe you're starting to connect with like-minded people right now, which is helping you put these boundaries up because you're realizing maybe, I'll clarify. Let's see. Hold on before I say anything. Getting ahead of myself. Okay, present today. I see, you know, with the black and white and the flower, the growth that you're going through. Searching and divine masculine. You could be a masculine or simply in your masculine energy. And in the present moment, you're seeing this information. You'll see this person's kind of has, it's not a blindfold, but it's like one of those, it's like you realize it's like a, what do I want to call that? What is it where you can put the glasses on and, you know, you can see yourself like in France, or, you know, you're somewhere else, or you're on a roller coaster. You know what I'm talking about? Virtual, you know what I'm talking about. And I feel like in the present moment, you're acting from your masculine energy and seeing the people that you're currently connecting with. And it's coming, it's coming to light who you've been connected with before that you're going to be pulling away from. They're dropping out of your life because you're realizing you're connecting with like-minded people, right? You're like, man, these people I'm connecting with right now, they're offering me help. They're asking me how I'm doing. They're giving back some energy to me. They're not just taking energy. Let's go to the others around you. They're focused. They're watching you. They're seeing you. They're seeing you grow. They're seeing you get away. They're seeing you meet new people, move on. Can I get more? What's this one? Similar friendships, you know, connecting with new souls. You know, some of you could be a new romantic partner. Others of you, I definitely think it's meeting up with your soul tribe, you know, the people who are like-minded on the same path, and they see this. They're watching it and they're stressed out because you're getting away. The person that gave them the most love, compassion, resources, you know, they're watching you get away and find your tribe where you belong. Tell me about the switch deck. Go over here. Tell me about the Hierophant. Hopes and fears. Okay. Hierophant. Hopes and fears. Illuminate. Revealing the truth. Confession. Shedding light. You're learning. You're learning from this full moon lunar eclipse. lost. It's like you were afraid of feeling empty and lost without this, whoever is in your immediate circle, family, friends, connections. I think you were worried you were going to feel lost and empty not being around them and cutting them off. But it's being revealed to you that you are on your own spiritual path because you're already starting to connect with like-minded people. But you were worried. Sneaky. It's like you were at the same time worried that these people were not being fake towards you. It's like you were hopeful they weren't. You didn't really want to see it. But your higher self is saying, no, you have to see this. You have to see this. And you need to learn that you've got to put those boundaries up with those people. So what's the outcome here? The stalemate. Stay here. Yeah. They're in shame. They're humiliated. It's kind of degrading when people think they should be allowed to walk all over you. That's very degrading. But there's also humiliation with them because they're seeing you shine. They're seeing you connect with the people you should be connecting with. Can I get more? Yeah, paying guarded. They are definitely going to feel this, and it's going to be painful for you, right? If you've been dealing with these people, seeing them, family, friends, people you know a long time, you see every day, you see on the same route you take. A lot of us have like a routine and a route for the most part. And, you run into these people, this and that, but it's going to hurt. But these people you're letting go of have lessons to learn. They're not at your level. You're already compassionate. There's something that's not compassionate about them if they have to be fake to get what they want, right? It's always needing something from you. And you're already working from compassion, sharing, caring. You're already a level ahead of these people or person. They're not at your level. Your next level is learning to not always be kind and compassionate, right? When it's to be discerning. When do I need to put the boundaries up with who and when, kind of thing. But these people that are being left behind have a lot more to learn. A lot more. So let's get a shadow card. I'm being called this one. Let's get one for Pisces and a shadow card for the ones around them. First one, Pisces. Shadow card for Pisces. There's nothing wrong with agreeing to disagree. You know, irreconcilable differences just is what it is until they're ready to learn. Breaking karmic cycles. Recognize repeating patterns and take action to break generational wounds. This runs in your family. This is a generational curse, and you're here to break that curse. You're here to have the boundaries up and to not be used for whatever that may be. Recognizing the patterns of people constantly coming at you, siphoning, sucking out your joy and your happiness. Let's get a shadow card for the ones around Pisces. Yeah, you're here to break generational curses. And Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. And that should be some of you. This will be the last time you play this game on Earth. Because you're learning your final lesson. Your soul's been here so many lifetimes that now you've come to the final point to where you've learned all the lessons there need to be. The ones around you. Surrender to change. Resistance creates suffering. Remember, they were currently in the Nine of Swords. Anxiety, nightmares, feeling, you know, what they've done. Creates suffering, flow with transformation rather than against it. So resistance creates suffering. Flow with transformation rather than against it. They need to learn to go through their own transformations. You know, they are resisting it, right? They got the shades on, you know, la, 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 free spirit. I don't care. I'm just here doing my thing. No, they got to take the shades off and they have to see what they need to learn so they can better themselves. These souls will be back playing this game again. Some of you will not be. Pisces, I hope this was helpful. I hope something resonated. Share, like, subscribe, comment, all that helps. I want to hear from you. And if not, I wish you the best of luck on this journey. Love and light, and also shadows. Until the next one, I'll talk to you soon.